finish this question. I have one more question. Yeah, go ahead. Is necessarily the sense of touch the best way of communicating the information about density?
Okay. Firstly, of sound, because it would be very irritating to hear noises whenever the obstacle is detected. So we felt that vibration, using the vibrations to indicate the presence of an obstacle is okay. And having different senses being activated for different modes of the project puts the user in a confused state. It does not make matters simple for the user. That is one reason that we chose the haptic technology. Also, the haptic technology has wide applications, and we felt that it has not been exploited to its full potential.
Now let's look at.
I have one more point, sir.
Yeah.
Because we use a walking stick over here, even if our machine fails, he is with a walking stick. He will be able to find his way out.
Okay. Now, my next question is this. You have an acoustic beam coming out of the walking stick to hit the object. What is the angular diameter of this beam? If it is too narrow, there is a problem. If it is too broad, it is again a problem. How do you decide what is the right amount?
For practical applications, we've decided it to be around 27.5 degrees because it is the angle that specifies range of 5 meters that we have considered. The particles that might occur in that range in the path of the range, there is problem in reception, and for a narrower range,
how does this react to vertical curves? So for example, if you come across a staircase that's going upwards.
the model ultrasonic transceiver has a transceiver at the bottom, which is focused towards the surface. Any irregularities in the surface will again reflect back the waves towards the transducer. If it is a bump, then the waves are reflected of the slope, which is elevating slope. If it is a depth, then it is reflected of the other end of the slope. So ultimately, due to the reflections, we can identify any presence of irregularities on the surface.
Add some problems regarding the. We designed it in such a way. We said the distance between the two transmitters were about 0.6 meters. We designed it in such a way that there is no interference between the two signals within a distance of 5 meters.
Since we are using two ultrasonic transceivers, each of them will be producing a wave independently. So we want to give an exact user regarding the obstacle. Therefore, we don't want each wave produced by the ultrasonic to interfere. Therefore, we have placed them in such a way that the waves produced by them will not interfere.
And for your information, sir, the ultrasonic transducer sends out signals which are inclined at an angle of 29.460. We had the diagrammatic proof of all this. Only the one below, sir.
Bottom one.
It's not inclined, it's a line.
Sir, it's a line of sight.
Power levels. Basically, my question towards the battery and its life, or the real actual lifetime of any such thing in terms of a single battery change.
We actually use the PIC 16587 processor, sir. That is a low power processor. It is used low power application. 167 processor, sir. That is one of the reasons. And
as for the other technologies that are involved, the haptic sense emulators definitely require a large amount of power to produce vibrations and to pop out and to produce resistance to pressing actions and all that. So, but the main idea is that with the technologies of batteries, rechargeable batteries, reusable batteries coming up, we find that the power would not be much of a problem. The ultrasonic transceivers can be easily handled using small batteries.
Total drain, can you give what is the kind of battery you require or its life? We are not worried about whether batteries are available or not, but what is the kind of requirement on the system?
Sir, since we are using a PIC processor, to run it we require a voltage of 5 volts. In order to drive the vibration circuit alone, we need about 6 volts. Therefore, we can use an ordinary Pentorch battery we have. Therefore, it will be easy for us to integrate it on the stick part.
Can you give me the current rating also, please? because voltage alone would not suffice to answer this.
Let me rephrase the question. Somebody using this, if you kept it on, there's no on-off, right? It's going on for a very long time. How long will the battery last?
Sir, as I told you, it is us who are going to select the mode. So therefore, if your user feels that he don't require the use of this, he can just switch it off and use it as a normal walking stick. Whenever he feels he requires the use of it alone, he can switch it on. Therefore, we planning that normally a passenger or a visually challenged person, in order to move through the road, he not more than 10 minutes he can be continuously walking down. Therefore, we feel that for that 10 minutes, our battery support will be able to efficiently produce the stick effectively.
We were concentrating upon the technology, sir. Only the basic technologies. We didn't.
Yeah.
But we know the rating of the big processor. It's 20 microamps, I suppose. 20 milliamps or microamps.
Processor is one part. When you have transceiver, that will be taking it. Transceivers can be very inefficient in terms of conversion from DC to whatever ultrasound or ultrasound frequency you're talking about. Their efficiencies may be
We look at the power characteristics, sir. We usually do that.
Yeah, of course, sir, I can understand your question.
Any other queries? No, we only do this for stationary objects. It's not for moving objects.
Yeah.
Our future announcements include we can detect this for moving objects. We can always integrate GPS into it so that it automatically guides the person to his required destination. There are lots of future announcements of this project, but we are concentrating to make it feasible because technology has always been available for the blind, but it has not been feasible till now, and that's where our concentration has been, to make it feasible to the visually challenged.
And also, we like to provide a technology to them, which means them the sense that they don't require to do an extra level to study the technology. Therefore, we choose to opt for the sense of touch in our project. Since we cannot give a mission to a visionless person, but we can give a vision through the sense of touch. That's the basic idea behind our project.
He has a superior sense of touch, and why not probably play to his strengths rather than try to bring in some new terminologies or something like that. As said, it is a future enhancement. It can be, once we come out successfully with all this, we'll surely look at that.
It is only the theoretical part in the mode 2 we are more concentrated. Okay, when applying practically we'll be coming across this, we're sure that we'll be overcoming it. Any more questions?
Thank you.
Thank you all for giving us this wonderful opportunity. Thank you.